Be sure to like and subscribe and stay tuned for future content. And let's take a look. So I wanted to go over a quick sneak of one of the features that we're almost done with, but one that I'm really excited about. We're happier when we do things that we like to do. Go figure. But when we're at work, sometimes we get assigned to whatever comes our way. There's not necessarily a rhyme or reason with why we get tasks, or its convenience, or its effort based, and how much capacity we have as an individual, as opposed to being something that isn't our skill set or that we like or prefer to do. So one way that we're changing that is that we are on a personalized home screen, allowing you to rate how you feel about a task. Now, an employer, if you don't like a task, you don't really want your employer to know that, right? At least I wouldn't. I've worked at some places where it was fairly toxic, and if somebody didn't like how you thought of the world, then they made things even more uncomfortable. So we took that into consideration. So right here we have task sentiment. So you have the ability to rate the tasks based on how you feel about the description, about how they work, what you're kind of anticipating to happen. But then you can go ahead and say, oh, I love this task. It's a unicorn level status. It's one of those rare, unusual tasks that I would love to see more of. So once you rate it, it goes to a check mark. And the reason for that is that privacy element of, if you're working in an office and people are walking behind you because it's an open desk environment, you may not want people to see how you feel about a task when they're walking by. You can hover over it and see your unicorn, click it again, and then I don't want to use that. And there it is. So the goal with this feature is that our AI will have the ability to prioritize your tasks that are upcoming based on how you feel about the work. And that way it can optimize for how you should work on the work to get the most out of what you have to do. So if you have a task that you don't like, it may make sense to pair it with something that you do like, and if they're similar enough, be more efficient at it. The next layer of this feature is that we want to be able to create a space in which either your project manager or your manager, whoever is assigning tasks and distributing them out on the team, can have the ability to, on a private level, so not seeing what about the task you like, not seeing your overall mood about the tasks, but just hey, here's a task, AI looks at it and then recommends who might be best for this task given the requirements and the details on it. Again, maintaining privacy and not giving away all of your feelings and secrets, but getting to a point where we're then able to really focus on priority and effort and optimizing for feeling good about the work we're doing. Who taught you how to make a to-do list? Think about it for a second. No one ever taught me how to make a list and write things down and then cross them off when they've been done. I remember seeing my mom growing up making grocery lists, talking to other people. Sometimes the classmates made lists. Nobody ever called making a list project management to me growing up. And project management ends up being this thing that you really only learn once you're in school, and if you're lucky then. And it's funny because then you get into you graduate, you go through all the steps, you get a job, and at that first job, suddenly you're expected to know how to go from a to-do list to working with a group of people towards some high level direction that you're not setting, and then expected to work with often sometimes millions of dollars of budget, and everything is supposed to go off without a hitch. You may or may not have a project manager who may or may not be formally trained in project management. And it's interesting to me that when we talk about project management, we've really boiled it down back to a to-do list. And what ends up missing is that expectation management and that human element that takes project management from just a to-do list into a successful, high-performing, accomplished team who is ready to rule the world. And project management, the steps, the process isn't the thing that does that. The thing that does that is the people who find a way to take ownership over what they're doing and want to be successful. But you have to bring the two together. And that's what we're doing. We're working to find a way to bring those things together and move beyond just the task list.